The rule changes this year in college football are not many. However, at least one is significant. There is a lot more further restriction on blocking below the waist. And the Rules Committee has removed, actually most of the time, that teams on offense or defense can block below the waist legally. It's not completely from the game, but it involves really on offense, tackle to tackle on initial charges and some people in the tackle box in the offensive backfield and defensive linemen. And then after that, that's it. So that will be an adjustment for teams not only in the OVC but beyond.
And what's the process for these rule changes to take place?
So if officials enforce the rules, coaches make the rules. The rules are proposed from various entities all around the country. It goes to the NCAA Rules Committee, of which there are representatives from all three of the divisions on the Rules Committee, and then those rules that are successfully come out of the Rules Committee, and then those rules that come out of the committee go to the NCAA's Playing Rules Oversight Panel, which approved, at least for football, back in April.
And replay is now in its 6th year in the OVC. Can you tell us about how that process has been so far?
So as it relates to the OVC and all the partners we work with, replay from a structural standpoint continues to get better and better. The way that replay is done in college football, in my opinion, is really challenging. The instant replay official in college football is not only watching every single play of every game and reviewing every play of every game, even if there's not an official stop. They are often the catch-all for potential mistakes on the field. And so you never take a play off in instant replay, and you can never be wrong. The scrutiny is extremely higher for the instant replay official, probably more than anybody else associated with the game on the field, off the field, coaching, officiating, or anywhere else. So careful what you get into in instant replay, because it's certainly a highly technical position, but one that involves a lot of scrutiny.
And what's a typical week like for you in this role?
It depends how well we do. So I think that, no, there's, facetiously I say that, but it's a real privilege to serve. I mean, this is my 17th season overall associated with the OVC and 6th as the coordinator of football officials. And a typical week involves reviewing all the plays from all the games, grading the films, interacting with our coaches, and very rarely our athletic directors, but certainly the conference office as we look as to what happened or what could have happened or what should have happened in football games. I'm very pleased with our program. You know, in 2021, which was 2 seasons in 1 year. People often forget the backdrop of a global pandemic that made FCS football play in the spring and the fall. In that time period, the OVC football officiating staff worked 5 postseason games, including 3 this past season, culminating with a semifinal at Montana State. Our overall correctly officiated play rate was 97.3. Which is pretty good. I'll put that up against anyone else. And the truth is, it's pretty similar to most all conferences around the country. And I say that to say that, of course, mistakes are going to be made, but we can't expect that people are going to be perfect, but we can expect them to be excellent. We can expect them to be superior. This program, as a mid-major program, ships an awful lot of fine officials away from us into FBS, which means that we do attract pretty good quality candidates to officiate in this league because they know it's a pathway forward when they do well.
What is something a typical person does not know about officiating in the OVC?
That it's almost year-round. The reality is that in January, maybe your month off, but in February, March, and April, almost everyone on the staff is going to some sort of an officiating camp or conference or clinic or a spring meeting with us. They're officiating scrimmages in spring football. We just, here in July, finished a 4-day internal conference for OVC's on-field and replay staff at Tennessee Tech in Cookeville. And the reality is that it's a year-round avocation, that it's not, I just don't say, hey, find some people hanging out at the Walmart snack bar and say, hey, why don't you come work a game today, and we'll pay you a little bit to do that. It's a big deal, and I think that a lot of times people don't realize how much actually goes into making it happen. But we should, because think about how much time and effort our parents of our student athletes have put in since those young men were 6, 7, 8 years old starting in football. We should realize that nothing good comes easy, and that it is a culmination of many years of repetition and intentional working towards something that's good.